Name's Rafael, you watch Rock and Roll Garage, and another sad day for music. Brian Wilson passed away at the age of 82. The Beach Boys mastermind, a true legend. His family shared the news of his death on the social media and website, and this is what they said. We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed away. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world. Love and mercy. Well, as you probably know, Brian had a lot of health issues over the decades. He was later, as you probably know, he had a lot of mental issues, especially in the around the 80s and late 70s. And throughout his life, he was later on diagnosed with a schizoaffective disorder, which is a mental health condition that is marked by a mix of schizophrenia symptoms, such as hallucinations, delusions, and mood disorder symptoms, for example, depression, mania, and a milder form of mania called hypomania. The hallucinations involve seeing things or hearing voices that others don't observe. Delusions involve in believing things are not real or not true. So he dealt with this throughout his life, and news was shared last year that he would be placed in a conservatorship due to dealing with dementia. Something that it's actually common in people his age, that a lot of people, older people, have. And but you know, besides all that, he was just a fundamental figure in music. Sadly, due to this condition, he toured not as extensively as other artists from his era did. Sadly, the Beach Boys dissolved, and they came back a few times, but Brian, due to a fight with his cousin Mike Love and different different ideas about what the band should be doing, etc., they drift away from each other. Mike Love is the one who, with Bruce Johnston, are the classic members. He's the one original member of the Beach Boys who are still going. And Brian had a few years ago a few good tours, small tours across the United States, and his final concert happened at Pine Knob Music Theater in Clarkston back in July 26, 2022. He played not every, because they had many hits, but a lot of incredible Beach Boys songs, and he was the mastermind behind them. You know, there would be no Pet Sounds without Brian. There would be no Holland or many other incredible records. You know, Brian was the one who stopped the surf music they became famous for, and what he did on Pet Sounds is just, it changed the course of music. You know, music would have never been the same without Pet Sounds. It was Pet Sounds that made the Beatles do Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It is Paul McCartney's favorite Beach Boys album, and God Only Knows is his favorite song of all time. He said that he gave this album to his kids to educate them musically. I mean, the importance of Brian Wilson is monumental. It's a huge loss. And coincidentally, I'm talking about Paul McCartney. Brian Wilson was born 2 days after Paul McCartney. I mean, Paul McCartney was born June 18, 1942, if I'm not mistaken, 1942. And Brian Wilson, June 20. Just 2 days after. You know, two musical legends were born in a matter of days. And it's just a huge loss. And his website has a lot of quotes, and I always thought it was very interesting. And I'm gonna hear a few of these quotes, just to, if you don't know that much about Brian, just for you to see how important he was. For example, Bob Dylan said about Brian, Jesus, that year, he should donate it to Smithsonian. The records I used to listen to and still love, you can't make a record that sounds that way. Brian Wilson, he made all his records with 4 tracks, but you couldn't make his records if you had 100 tracks today. Paul McCartney, I figure no one is educated musically till they've heard Pet Sounds. I love the orchestra, the arrangements. It may be going overboard to say it's the classic of the century, but to me, it certainly is a total classic record that is unbeatable in many ways. I've often played Pet Sounds and cried. So these are just 2 legendary musicians talking about Brian, and it's really sad we lost him. It's a reality that it's sad. All the greats, the living legends are getting older, are in the 80s, and we were prepared for it, but it's always a huge loss because, you know, especially him, he was a genius, and he dealt with all these conditions throughout his life, but he still managed to be the genius he was, and to change society, to change the world, you know, to change music, and more important, he made people happy. You know, he gave us songs that mean a lot to the world. You know, people all over the world. I'm from Brazil, but I love the Beach Boys. I love what Brian Wilson did. You know, it's a universal thing, and not many people can do that. You know, in every country you go, you're gonna find Beach Boys fans and people who know who Brian Wilson was. So it's really sad. It's a huge loss, but we still got the music, right? And I want to dedicate this to Brian. Let's all hear Beach Boys today, hear his songs, his solo records, and celebrate his work, what he gave us, his career, our best, our positive energy, and our prayers are with his family and closest friends and fans all over the world. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. See you later.